Here it is at last, new game plus 40, with Psychedelic Eyeball as guests.
Hello, hello.
We got the profile options up at the top left because of the new version.
Yeah, holy shit, 5,000 gold. No, not 5,000, 500,000.
Yeah, you're missing a couple zeros.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the habit whenever it comes to me.
So I have all the gear here. I'm loading myself out with my last champion. He's a spellcaster, so I got these limbs that give magic power. And other than that, I like damage and enchants. We're going to try out flight, because those grace runes I have on for easing the pain of this, they're illegal, so...
Oh god, so you're going all flight there.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you're gonna go flight, you might as well. I never showed off what this is like. It's like a dragon with actual abilities, so we're gonna have some fun.
Do you mean that the dragon never had $200 per gold pickup?
That's right. So, that enemy's level 3,500, and this is the class that, if you recall, I said, it's like running around with a Mario star on.
Yeah.
Look at him now. he's barely capable of killing one enemy.
Yeah, and he's pretty much getting his ass kicked by being hit once.
This is, as far as I'm concerned, the strongest class as far as damage output is this fire barrier spell sword.
Oh yeah, it really is. Earlier I was looking, oh yeah, deals over 600 damage a hit.
Assassin might maybe do more if you're just sitting there wailing on him, but I kind of doubt it. I think that this is probably the fastest damage, at least right now, and it's just pathetic.
Yeah.
I definitely can't take damage. It doesn't even...
You can deal and you can't inflict any damage.
Yeah, you could farm stats from Fairy Chest, but I assure you that I did not do that. I got to this as fast as I could, because I did not grind. And look at all that money, man! They just keep on pouring out. What did we get? Oh, yeah.
Alright, now we're a millionaire!
Where are we gonna spend it? Nowhere.
Yep, we're just gonna give it to the dead.
Let's see how the bosses do these days.
Okay, they pretty much not have changed. The only difference is that fighting him will pretty much take like an hour.
Yep. Even with this class. Now, I'm used to doing this with Grace Runes on because I don't see the point to not using them other than being dumb, which is what I'm doing here. If you just imagine that this boss would already be dead, that's what having 5 Grace Runes on would be like.
Yeah, at this point it's just like, I don't know why you would not use nothing but Grace Runes anymore.
Yep. You just put on, if you want enchantments, you get it from the Dark Set, because 5 Grace Runes is requirement for your not suffering through this crap. This is just a grind.
What do you mean? This is so fun right now.
The other bosses are not the case. They're actually going to be ridiculously hard. This one, though, and all of the enemies in the castle, definitely Grace Runes, just to remove a grind.
Yeah.
Hey, 200,000 from you. Thanks, Gideon.
Alright, we got 5 HP.
Armor helps, still. I think I'm at like 60% reduction.
Yeah, and even then you're still taking a shit ton of damage. Earlier Kidir dealt something like 5 or 800 damage to you in one hit.
I'm kind of curious what that Black Knight would hit me for, that Gradiator, that's what they're called.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will kill you in one hit.
Well, the damage a spell sword has, he has long since been past the point of infinite mana. Oops.
Oh, yep. One hit.
There goes my hero. He killed the whole NG plus 39 in one run, I think, and then he just dies like that without Grace Runes on.
Also, holy shit, we're now in the year 6000.
Hey, you're up.
Oh!
I have picked your class for a very good reason.
Yeah, at this point I figure the assassin is the only class was still worth using at this point.
There are 4 that I can explore with. The assassin, the barbarian, the paladin, and an archmage with time stop. And we do not need flight runes because we have a new plan in store for the assassin.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna run the hell.
I love that speed.
Yeah, what the hell? This is so fucking fast.
So we're just looking for the bosses now, so we can lock the castle permanently. This is how New Game Plus 40 is run, and pretty much everything past like New Game Plus 5, when you don't need money anymore, you just find the bosses and then you kill them.
Oh, so holy shit! You gave to Karen 1 million gold.
Still have a savings account open here.
Yeah, that's kind of the fucked up part.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that was pretty quick this time around. Now, yeah, I figure that this one boss is gonna be really hard now.
I'll tell you, I'm afraid to fight him with this class. I'm not going to try it until I've found the other bosses. This guy's goal is to find the boss rooms first.
Okay, and then after that you bring the spell sword or the paladin or whatever in order to kick his ass.
There are a few options for some of these still. Eventually it's going to be to the point, I don't think it is yet, but eventually where a spell sword is like the only option. Or we're going to show it off in Archmage with Time Stop.
Oh.
There's a trick you can use with Time Stop. For some reason, Time Stop works on the bosses, and he's got one hell of a mana pool, so we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much could freeze the guy in his tracks forever.
Yeah, that is incredibly boring, and I've seen people go up to plus 100. That is the only class they use to kill the bosses. They just suicide until they get an Archmage. It's boring to play and watch. Like, it's just smashing a button literally 1,000 swings.
Yeah, that cannot really be too fun.
But that's how it's done. That's the one class that... The only one it doesn't work on is Herodotus, because he has a thing that makes him unfreeze when he splits.
Okay. So pretty much every single time that you split him, you pretty much will have to recast the spell.
Yeah, that's all you have to do, and that's more annoying than it sounds. We gotta get our $1 million.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm bothering.
Yeah, we got all of the money that we lost already.
I'd like to find the gambler right now.
Yeah, holy shit, I hope that we find him. That will be the best.
So yeah, if you're looking at these rooms I'm running through, just like I've been LPing, they're the same kind of rooms. They're impossible to go through, especially when you die in 2 hits. That's why you need a class that can get rid of projectiles. Barbarian's okay. Shout works. It gives you meat from all the items when it breaks them. Assassin, obviously, the best at it. Paladin sort of can do it, though, with the 2 skills he has.
Yeah, but at this point, I still figure that you're pretty much at the one point of the game where the Paladin also has outlive its usefulness.
All I use him for is exploring, because he sure can't do bosses anymore. He just doesn't have any advantage over these guys.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. It's just, at this point, it's completely pointless to even fight anything.
Absolutely. I'm not even looking at these enemies as a threat, I'm just looking for a reason to turn on invisibility. Now we have found all the bosses, so...
Yeah, I've had a pretty good life.
The first boss I would try with this class is the next easiest one, Pawns.
Yeah, at this point I don't think that the new game plus really does anything with this one guy.
Nope, he is the same as he's always been. He just takes 1 million hits. I just ran into that for all my life.
700 damage. This is so dumb.
Given mobility runes, which I don't have on right now, I really shouldn't lose this boss. Even now, it just would be a long fight, that's all. I'm used to fighting this guy like this, so no big deal.
Yeah. Ow.
But I didn't manage it just because I failed.
Wait, why am I useless? I collected over $1 million!
I almost picked the Spelunker thinking it was a spell sword.
Oh god, yes.
Now that barbarian has PAD, but he also has Guardian Blade. You might not realize it, but that's actually a really good combination for Herodotus.
Oh yeah, that means you can pretty much get the boss stuck in a corner and then drain every single bit of his hit points.
Absolutely. I'm about to employ a strategy to get rid of Herodotus that has never failed me. It is a fantastic plan when you have the mana to do it, and I definitely do. Let's see if it works on NG+40.
Alright.
I'm immune to the spikes on the floor. That's a really big deal, too.
Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be a huge help, considering that I'm pretty sure at this point the spikes in his rooms are strong enough to instantly kill you.
Now, I'm used to having 5 Grace Runes once, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work. This is a big change from what I've been playing.
Okay.
So we're looking at, with crits, like 10 hits per split.
Oh my god, that's gonna suck.
We're still working on the plan here, but this is essentially what it's going to be. We can shout them over to the wall, and then we can stick a sword on them and keep them there.
Yeah, but what are you going to do once that you're not gonna have any more magic points?
Hopefully he will die before that happens. There, I got rid of one wizard.
Alright. So, let me guess, the last 10 minutes of the video are going to be this one fight, right?
We'll wear him down fast once we got this going on. There we go. That is the plan right there. Successfully executed. I need to not take any hits because I just lost all my life in one.
Yeah, it's a good thing you have a shit ton of life right now. Holy shit. This is the best.
It's not that easy to keep it going, honestly, especially when they don't freaking die, but it does work if you can do it.
Yeah, at this point, this is like the one only thing that can work against this boss.
But I have enough mana left for a couple shouts. I'm in
Wait,
trouble.
holy shit, you managed to glitch one of the slimes because it's all red.
That happens when they're spawned into damage. Something like that happens. It's the same as it always is, it's just red. Oh. It's time to clear out the wizards and use pad. That's the plan now because I've got no mana.
Oh.
Hopeless battle.
Well, that was a hopeless battle that still was entertaining.
There we go.
Oh, alright.
Lineback will be my Archmage test.
Alright.
It's not just time stop, you also have to have the chakram, which happens about 60% of the time that you get time stop as far as I can tell.
Oh.
Because there's a trick you can do only with chakrams. The rest of the projectiles disappear when you freeze them, but the chakram does not.
Oh.
Now it's very important because without that, we don't do enough damage, even with all that mana, to kill it in time.
Yeah, I figure at this point it's pretty much just, okay, you're gonna drain about half of the guy's health.
Now, I'm not going to do this on the other 2 bosses. I'm only doing it on Ponce because he's the easy one, and we know that we can beat him with just about any class, really.
Yeah.
But here's time stop. This is going to take like 60 seconds, right?
Yeah, at this point this is what it's gonna be.
I'm just messing around because I'm really bored already.
Yeah, honestly, it's like, I just cannot see this part of the game being any enjoyable to play anymore. Alright, swing your sword fast!
It's important that you freeze the chakram inside him, obviously, and it only works with 1. If you do 2, it won't do any more damage. So that's how that's done. That's the only way to use an Archmage at this point.
Yeah.
That alone makes Archmage worthwhile.
But yeah, I really liked how come the bosses now give less money than the chests outside his room.
And this is how you explore with an Archmage. And it works okay, as long as you're careful, because if you run into any of these guys, you will die instantly.
Yeah, with 800 health, I can't really picture you staying alive for too long.
I don't understand why this spell works on the bosses. It really needs to not. I hate to recommend something that makes this class even weaker, but really, I don't understand why it works on the bosses.
Yeah, but I figure in some way this is the only thing that can still make it feasible to go through some parts of the castle at this late in the game, although I don't really think that the designers planned that ahead whenever they were thinking about the game. Oh god, you...
I've got no class.
Yeah, you're pretty much our bone there.
Here we're going to see the difference between a spell sword and an archmage with fire whip.
Yeah, I mean, your spell will do slightly more damage with less mana, but the thing is, you still have a pretty finite mana pool, and at this point, you just gain something like 5 MP back after killing one thing, and at this point, it's not worth it anymore.
This should work. If I were a spell sword, I would have faith that I would be able to beat this boss here, because this is just as good as Guardian Blade, except it's even easier to do. And that keeps the slimes from bouncing into you.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work. I mean, you can't depend on it, but it usually keeps them from bouncing into you.
Yeah, the only bad thing, however, with this one boss is that you cannot pretty much afford to take any hits.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that if you have a spell sword, maybe you'd have enough health in order to survive one projectile or something.
One hit? Yeah.
Yep. At this point, this is pretty much the standards that we've been reduced to.
Can I beat a boss with a barbarian? After what we've seen.
Well, knowing you, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the one part of the run where you'll finally manage to pull it off.
I'll tell you this, Alexander is probably even harder than Herodotus. I mean, he is really damn hard because you cannot kill a single one of those minions.
Yeah, and he fills the entire arena with them really fast.
Yep. Now, my plan here is to use the shout to keep them away while I kill the boss. Will I kill the boss before I can no longer shout?
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty hard.
We're looking at a brutally long fight, unfortunately, but there's not much I can do about it. This is one of the few ways that I've been beating Alexander at this point.
Oh, okay, because your shout doesn't push the boss away.
It does not. It does get rid of his projectiles too, and it pushes them all the way across the screen.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Absolutely. Barbarian, Queen, King, still good class.
Yeah, with such a large mana pool, I imagined indeed that the Barbarian Queen or King would be very handy still at this point of the game, even though he deals pretty poor damage.
75%, but he does crit a lot. He still does more than the Hokage does at this point, probably.
Yeah. Hokage at this point is completely useless.
Yeah, the Spelunker, Hokage, Dragon, Lich King, those classes have absolutely no worth. I guess you could use the Spelunker to look at the map and then suicide him, because you could just lock it and you would know where the bosses are, but why not just use an Assassin?
Yeah, I think the way that you showcase of using the Assassin probably works a whole lot better.
And it's more fun. You get to run around with haste runes and not die to anything.
Yeah, as opposed to the Spelunker where there's not going to be anything interesting going on.
This really is bullet hell at this point. Even though I'm immune to bullets, I still feel like I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah, we've pretty much lost half of our mana, and the boss is just about halfway dead.
Yep, this is not going to work too much longer. If it does even work here, it's not going to be a viable strategy too much longer after this.
Yeah, I suppose this is a strategy that will work if you still had your Grace Rune on, but right now you're just no longer strong enough.
If I had those on, probably I would have been able to do this with just about any class. The Assassin would be able to kill those skulls. That's the problem, they have way too much health.
Everything just has way too much health now.
It's just completely unrealistic to kill them.
Yeah, that's pretty much the big problem with the New Game Plus whatever, because once that you've reached the highest point of your character, not only that there's no further reason to play the game, but at this point it just becomes a complete impediment in playing the game itself.
There, I just crit one of those guys a little bit ago for 745, went down to 95% health. So we're talking 20 crits to kill one skull.
Yep.
Now my crit rate is 68% or so. That's pretty damn high, but it's gonna end up being 30 hits.
Yes. Whoever watches this video, please count the number of hits that Smite had to land on this boss to finally kill him.
I would rather measure the pixels on the health bar than sit there and count. Like, I would measure how many one tick is. Like, is that 1%? And then I would count how many hits that took. That's how I would do that. I wouldn't sit there and count. There's probably at least 1,000. That's what it feels like anyway.
Yeah, most likely. Alright, it's in the bag.
I mean, I bet it's closer to 200 or 300, but it feels like thousands.
Yeah, because you just keep doing the same thing over and over again through the entire fight.
And we had enough mana left for about 4 shouts.
Woo!
Cutting it close. So I don't think that would work on NG+41 unless I was farmed up a little bit more. Like I said, I didn't sit there and collect fairy chests this whole time. I picked them up if I saw them, but I did not go out of my way. I saw some people streaming these runs, and they did nothing but farm fairy chests for hours. Fuck that. Okay, I do like Paladins still. I'm gonna give him a shot. He's got PAD. We gotta kill Herodotus.
Okay, with the side though?
That's unfortunate, but it's not the worst weapon for this. He's got so much mana that I can't use it on his shield because the slimes ignore it. They will hit you anyway.
Yeah, but at this point, couldn't you just morph into a Tanuki in order to just perpetually stun lock them, or...?
Same thing, they will hit you if you do that too.
Ow.
That used to work. You used to be able to kill these bosses with that form. That's one of the first things they changed.
Okay, that was one of the things that they changed with the patch that they did lately.
One of the first patches did that because you could just kill the bosses with this Immortal Paladin.
Oh, yeah.
I love PAD. It makes this boss a joke, but not when it takes that many hits.
Yeah, and when you can no longer kill the wizard in any convenient fashion.
I actually don't worry about them when I have PAD. I just walk back and forth across the room like that and kill them in the crossfire. They hardly ever hit me.
Yeah, what the hell? You only got it once so far.
Yep, this is my plan, and I'm now realizing I've got like 1,500 mana I need to use. But you do run into that when there's 10 wizards.
Yeah, at this point it's just like you're gonna have to push them away with your sights.
Usually, at this point, I would have killed the boss already. That's how strong PAD is when you're doing this strategy. But not when you can't kill anything.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to make it.
Yeah, I think this is game over for us.
I'll see you in part 2.
See you later.